Hi, everyone. I am speaking with
I'm Kevin O'Connor, and I am speaking with
Conor Cunneen, Irishman Speaks. And both of us are deans for the upcoming NSA Illinois Speaker Academy. Kevin is doing dean for the first time, and I'd like to welcome Kevin. So, Kevin, what attracted you to helping out with new speakers and understanding the business of speaking?
Well, I wished I had this academy in 1976 when I started speaking full time, and because it mixes the best of the skill of speaking and facilitating, even consulting, and the business of speaking and consulting and facilitating. And those two are very different things, but when they're in combination, big things happen for us in terms of our career, our income, and what we really want to do with our speaking business, especially now in some different times. And so we're going to give you some tips and techniques on how to do all those things, but especially with what does the year ahead and the 2 years ahead look like. We're bringing in local experts and national experts. This is going to be a great set of learning opportunities.
Right. And you're proof positive that this is a business with significant longevity as well. I mean, when you started, Ulysses Grant was president, yeah? Oh, no, that was 1876. You said 1976. Right.
76 is when I started speaking. Yeah, I think I was president in the 80s. And then now I'm on the chapter leadership council for NSA National. So there's many people out there that want to become a speaker. But the ones that are smart are the ones that are going to learn how to do it well and learn how to do the business well. Doing it well doesn't bring in the business. And sometimes you can bring in the business, but if you don't perform, you're not going to have a business. We're going to do both.
And I got to say, you're actually one of the people that kind of inspired me to go into this crazy business, because I think you were one of the first people that I met at an NSA chapter event, and you were genuinely helpful and interested. And I think what you'll bring to this program is a real sense of empathy and understanding of the challenges that people go through. And this is a tough business to make a good living in and to be successful, especially in the current environment. And what we're doing with this program is that we are adapting it compared to previous years. So to allow for the way the environment has changed, we're going to spend a lot of time, instead of just purely on stage skills in front of an audience, we're going to be talking a lot about virtual presentations and how you can connect with your audience and make sure that they're engaged and you get the repeat business.
You know, I was at a conference the other day for psychologists and psychiatrists, and what they did at this conference is when they were doing demonstrations, which they always do, they stopped every once in a while, looked at the audience and said, now here's why I asked that question. Now I'm going to ask this question. And what I'm looking for is, they really peeled back the curtain of the Wizard of Oz so you could see what was going on.
Right.
And all the people who are presenting are going to peel back the curtain. They're going to show you what they do every day, every week that makes them successful. And that's the real advantage of this. It's not just really good people saying, look what I did, achieve. They're going to tell you how they achieved that. And then you can take those ideas and put them into practice immediately.
I do believe that for virtual presentations, the questions the presenter asks are often at least as important as the content the presenter provides, because you've got to keep them engaged.
Yeah. Because when you're doing a Zoom call, there's a lot of shiny objects on your desk. And you can always block yourself. You can always stop your video and then walk around and eat lunch and everything else. But when you have a really good presenter, people don't want to do that because they're engaged.
That's absolutely true. And we've got some really good presenters. John Blumberg, who's a CSP, who's done a fantastic job for us over the last few years. He's going to be talking about managing your business.
And John really does know how to manage his business. He has a plan. He works a plan every week. He's devoted to it. He is one of the nicest guys in the world, but boy, he is tough when it comes to his business. He puts himself through the stages that you have to do every week to make sure that your business is sustainable. Just the dream of doing keynotes, flying around the country and walking away after a keynote. Some people do that, but they do certain things to make sure that happens. So however you want your business to be, there's a discipline behind it. And when we pull back the curtain, you're going to see how all these people think. And if we can figure out how somebody thinks, you're way ahead of the game.
Right. And what you've covered there and alluded to, is we're going to be talking a lot about the business of speaking, because there's a lot of very good speakers who are bankrupt.
That's true.
Indeed, yeah. There's a lot of other people who are making a lot of money because they're very good at marketing and positioning themselves. Now, they also produce good content as well, but having just good content is no longer sufficient to be able to be successful in this business.
Just the other day, Seth Godin, my son, sent me a quote from Seth Godin that he thought was just fantastic. And I have been saying the exact same thing for 5 years. But how come Seth Godin makes more money than I do? Not just the idea, right? He's doing something that I'm not doing. And he's attracting my son. So I have to be doing something. So one of the nice things about working with you, Conor, is I learn something every time we're together. And I'm looking forward to this academy because we learn too. My Jesuit friends at Loyola, where I teach, the Jesuits say, if you want to really learn something, teach it. And so we're involved in the teaching of it. And we're going to learn from our attendees as well.